Welcome back. We'd like to remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Now, besides the news and updates, the Channels TV app has an eyewitness feature. We encourage you to use it to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. In the southwestern part of the country and to develop the economy, the Ogun State government is cultivating and producing 35,000 tons of cotton per annum. The Ogun State government signed a memorandum of understanding with the Arewa Cotton Limited. The State Commissioner for Agriculture, Mrs. Ronke Shokefun, expects that this development will, amongst other things, provide about 300 direct jobs and 50,000 indirect jobs. As part of the agreement, the state government has promised to install a cotton processing machine to aid cotton-producing communities.
Cotton is a crop that fruits 4.5 months from cultivation. So you can imagine we can do 2 cycles easily in a year. And if we hit the target 10,000 hectares, the state can easily produce 25,000 metric tons of cotton at 2.5 metric tons per hectare. Cotton is a produce that is internationally priced, and therefore the benefits to the state are enormous, and the same to our partners.
The practice of law in Nigeria must go beyond the mundane to the level of, or the pedestrian, to the level of globally acceptable standards, and this is according to the president-elect of the Nigeria Bar Association, Mr. Abubakar Mahmood. He told the gathering of lawyers in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, that the NBA is made up of men and women of good character. Meanwhile, there have been calls for the military to be properly positioned in a democratic setting. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ereye reports.
The NBA conference in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, continues with this session on how to achieve more efficiency in the dispensation of justice. The president-elect drops a hint that lawyers and members of the association must begin to adopt new ways in the discharge of their duties to match best global practice.
We have to be prepared to take certain bold decisions. They may appear negative at this point in time, or they may appear contentious, but if we don't make the sacrifices and really prepare our profession and association for the future challenges, we'll be facing much more difficult times ahead. So we want to engage our members, we want to interrogate all of these issues, and we want to come up with clear, deliverable consensus on how to move forward and become a respectable bar association like many of the associations we relate with across the world.
They want to wear white and white.
Then the deliberation on the role of the military in stabilizing democracy and achieving economic growth is a focus of this session, chaired by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Defense. Some speakers believe the military plays a vital role in this regard.
It is only economic development that can improve the living conditions of our people. And the military must continue to stand up to be counted in this endeavor to sustain democracy and promote economic development in our country.
This speaker, however, brings a twist to the conversation with a quote.
Democracy does not depend on the military. The reason is obvious. That is why 21 countries in the world, they don't have military at all. So if the military were a democratic institution, it would be impossible to have a nation with democracy and no military.
As more deliberations continues on pressing national issues at the 56th NBA conference, many of the speakers at this event have identified corruption as enemy number one and the need to fight it together in the country, especially within the ambit of a law. and emphasized the call on the judiciary to maintain its dignity in the face of political persuasions. Emmanuel Ere, Channels Television News.
That conference is holding in the South. In the North Central, let's bring you news of issues of governance in Kwara State. Now, 300 million naira will be set aside monthly by the Kwara State government to offset the debt owed contractors. The money will be taken from the state's internally generated revenue and managed by the Infrastructure Development Fund Committee. This move is to help the timely payment of contractors and commencement of new projects.
Fund product is actually to address, firstly, the infrastructure gap that exists in the state. Is our own way of trying to make sure that consistently we are able to fund our infrastructure development, because eventually that is what will lead us to economic diversification and economic growth that we really want, and then wealth creation and job creation as well. So, but for contractors, we have ongoing projects that have been stalled with non-payments over time. So what we want to do is to use this infrastructure fund model, even before going into new one, to try and address all the outstanding payments that we have on ongoing projects and bring them to completion. So that's why we need to do these stakeholders engagement with all our contractors to bring them back to site and to assure them that we have created an infrastructure fund that will fund all the projects that they are undertaking for us right now to full completion. So that's why we've done this. So it will not only address this existing project, but even new projects will be taken on the fund.
Now to law enforcement in the southeast and the north central. Several suspects have been paraded by the police commands in Abia and Kwara states for committing various offences ranging from murder to production of fake currency, counterfeiting. Police say the job of protecting lives and property will be made easier when intelligence gathering is aided with information from the public.
The police in Abia State, southeast Nigeria, have arrested a suspected kidnapper, the owner of a quack maternity home, and others suspected of being involved in various offences, including production of fake currency. Parading the suspects at the zonal headquarters, the police command appealed to the public to beware of counterfeit notes in circulation and reports saying to police.
Intelligence was received that some kidnappers have entered into Abba through Ohanku. 3 teams of policemen drawn from SARS, Dragon, and anti-robbery squads were dispatched immediately to hunt for them. Consequently, one Kingsley Lazarus, 32 years, a native of Ibinanta Ibere in Bende, local government area, who lives in number 24 Emelugu Street, Aba, was arrested, while others took to their heels. I want to assure all and sundry to continue to partner with us, give us information, ready to treat such information with the confidentiality they deserve.
In north central Nigeria, the Kwara State Police Command has also arrested a man on suspicion of murder. Abdullah Adamu is suspected to have killed 2 people, his mother and his elder brother's wife. Commissioner of Police Olushola Amore explained that the 25-year-old Fulani man is thought to have committed the offence on the same day.
This happened at Kosubosu area. 2 young men were arrested with a human head in their bag. Initially, they were denying that somebody gave it to them, but upon interrogation, we discovered that they are 3 friends, and the 2 others lured one into the bush and cut his head. They have taken us to where they buried the body, so it's a clear case of homicide. Use your medium to warn members of the public that come. If you have a friend, tell people when you are going out with your friend.
The police commands in both states are reiterating the same message to members of the public. The police needs information on criminal activities to help guarantee safety of lives and property.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the governor of Benue State inaugurates the Salary Verification Committee. We'll tell you why in just a moment.